They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. With all the different fast food restaurants, there's unlimited choices. Being in a rush, can you rely on the fast food options of today? That's why today I'm going to every major fast food restaurant in America to ultimately find the very best fast food breakfast experience in existence. To qualify, each fast food restaurant must have a national presence and a minimum of 300 locations. But I want to up the ante even more. Where in the world is breakfast incredibly important? The answer is Australia, which is exactly why I'm taking someone from Australia, my good friend and chef, Andy Herndon, you might know him as Andy Cooks, to come along and rate these restaurants with me. We're taking the top 3 breakfast items from every single one of these locations, tasting, judging them, and then taking that collective experience and ranking the overall breakfast of that fast food place on a scale of 1 to 10. And I should also remind that we rate a little bit more aggressively here and a little bit more intentionally. 5 is mid. It doesn't necessarily mean bad, it just means it's average. Why does every single Burger King I've ever been to look like it's from 2002? What are y'all's top 3 breakfast items?
We have a croissant sandwiches, we have a biscuit.
Cool, all right. Can I do a bacon, egg, and cheese croissant sandwich, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, the French toast sticks? I had to commandeer the item choice there. Yeah. Wow, the croissant sandwiches are $2.50 each. Pretty remarkable. I'm surprised that Burger King doesn't get shouted out more.
Cheap.
Maybe we're about to find out why. Thank you.
$2.45, not bad.
I got a surprise for you, Andy.
Oh,
Syrup.
They don't even call it like maple flavored syrup, it's just syrup.
Well, the ingredients are corn syrup, sugar, water contains less than 2% of caramelized sugar color, ammoniated I don't even know what the that says. First up, French toast sticks. I know someone who loved these.
Is that split?
Andy, I think you're actually right. I think at the bottom was all the caramel color. Cheers.
I don't mind the texture, the crunchy outside. It's not overcooked in the middle, which is really nice, and it's not overly sweet. It does have a bit of like nasty oil flavor.
You're tasting vegetable oil, but I will say the oil's not burnt. They're not too bad, actually. I don't mind these. They're not overly sweet like I thought they'd be. Whoa, that is horrible.
That's nasty.
Oh my God. Biscuit, egg and cheese.
It's a scone.
This is what happens when you bring people on the show that aren't from America. Cheers. The biscuit is actually not bad. Salty, it's soft, but again, artificial butter. The cheese is, I'm not a fan of it. It's kind of funky. The bacon, overly smoked, but okay. It's not bad. Out of all the biscuit breakfast sandwiches I've had at fast food places, this is one of the better ones.
I'm a fan of the biscuit. We don't get this in Australia.
Hear that? He said biscuit.
But I find the eggs super watery. They're clearly made with water. Wasn't a huge fan of the bacon and also agree the cheese was nasty. The biscuit makes it for a good bun.
Burger King, what I'm learning here is you should just make biscuits. Next up and finally, well, I was gonna say this is the top recommended. This is the only thing that they recommended. I think this might be their most famous item. For all the French people watching, I'm sorry. That is single-handedly the worst croissant I've ever put in my mouth.
It's like literally the last sandwich, but in the most average croissant you've ever had. It's just doughy and nasty. There's no layers at all.
The croissant is taking even more flavor out of the sandwich as I chew it. This brought it down substantially.
I'm gonna go pretty harsh, even though those French sticks were actually pretty good for what they were. So I'm gonna go 4.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5. That was not good. Moving on.
Low prices, low quality, have it your way.
On to the next spot, but I have an important update I have to tell you about. This spatula that sold out several times, thanks to you, is back with Williams-Sonoma and I. We have partnered to support No Kid Hungry. So every spatula that's purchased, 30% of the proceeds will support No Kid Hungry. You're helping an important charity that's really near and dear to my heart, and also it's a cute design. This is one of my favorite spatulas of all time. If you wanna get it, the link's in the description, or you can go to a local Williams-Sonoma. Love you so much. Andy, can you explain the importance of breakfast in Australia?
People take it very seriously. You go to the beach, have a coffee, and it's usually pretty healthy. Some avocado on toast, maybe some smoked salmon, lots of poached eggs. If you don't know how to poach an egg, your establishment is not gonna last very long in Australia.
Where's your expectation on this right now?
I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty low.
All right, well, we're gonna find out. We're at McDonald's, Andy's favorite place to eat.
When I come to America, I only eat the Golden Arches.
What are y'all's top 3 breakfast items?
Egg McMuffin, a steak bagel, bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle.
Okay, great, I'll take all 3 of those.
Is it your first time driving?
It's because it's an English car. They don't know how to make electronics, man, I'm telling you. Thank you very much. 2 minutes, 27 seconds, probably one of the longest for McDonald's. Andy's never had a McGriddle. This is a special moment.
Ooh, it's sweet. What the f?
So bacon, egg, and cheese, McGriddle, cheers.
It's like the most American thing ever. I'm not a fan of that.
I've said it before, I've never liked that sandwich. Eggs obviously overcooked. It's not good. The one thing that I remember gave me a tummy ache when I was a little boy, the breakfast bagel, the steak breakfast steak. When was the last time your steak looked like that? Cheers. It's giving gas station Philly cheesesteak.
It's also just immensely greasy.
Salt levels aren't that bad. One note, the one good thing about this sandwich is the onions actually aren't bad.
I agree. Other than that, it just tastes like everything else on the Macca's menu.
We're gonna share this bite. Ham, what is this? Oh God, the McMuffin, whatever the f it is. Cheers. after what, a decade and a half, it tastes exactly the same. Unfortunately, that taste is not great, but it's not horrible.
And I do like the chew on the muffin.
Guess what I've got, listen. You hear that?
What, is that gristle?
That was an eggshell.
Oh, no way.
Believe it or not, there was a real life egg somewhere in the production of that. If we're gonna rate this menu, quality, I would not put it at the bottom, surprisingly. I would put it like slightly under average. Flavor, taste, texture, it's all the same shit.
Tastes the same every single time. And I think that's one of its redeeming qualities.
Just barely below average. I'm gonna put it at a 4 out of 10.
I'm gonna go slightly higher, 4.5.
Moving on.
You know, just because it's the most popular doesn't necessarily mean it's the best.
Jack in the Box.
Never been here, very excited.
What are like some of your top 3 breakfast menu items? Sorry, what? $36, and that was the most painful ordering experience of my entire life. I could barely hear that, dude. This is the longest drive-through in the history of any video we've ever done. Thank you so much.
17 minutes. I almost lost the will to live.
The inside of this bag smells like poop. The sourdough ultimate breakfast sandwich. This has bacon, ham, cheese, egg, sausage. You'll buy it. But not bad. Super greasy though. I can feel it on my lips.
Egg's pretty good. Bacon's okay. Sausage is okay.
I think it's seasoned nicely. The cured meat provides all the salt you need. Pretty good, I hate to say it. The breakfast sandwich, there's a lot of meat in it. It's the same thing with the bun. You. This one's almost too salty. Not bad, but the previous one was better.
Less greasy at least.
We have the croissant. You. This is the best tasting croissant we've had so far, but it's not a good croissant, but it's at least seasoned. Not bad. If I was forced to eat it at Jack in the Box, I would eat that and not feel too bad about the quality of it. It wasn't bad. It almost tasted low-key fresh made. I don't know if it is. So all that considered, that brought it up here. The second one, a little mid. The third one, a little higher than mid. So overall, I think it deserves something above average, which I would say is a 6.5.
I 100% agree. It's just above mid. The fresh eggs were definitely the redeeming factor in this one. I agree, 6.5.
Good work, Jack in the Box. Moving on.
Jack in the Box with the highest score of the day. I'm really hoping that we see some big boys coming up at our next stop.
Wendy's. Wow, they really want you to know. Serving breakfast. What are y'all's top 3 breakfast items?
The breakfast baconator, the number 1, and the number 5.
I'll do one of each of those, just the sandwiches.
Interesting fact, Wendy's is in New Zealand, but it's not in Australia. And just so everyone knows, I'm not an Australian. I'm a Kiwi who lives in Australia.
Got it? Tired of this shit. Thank you very much.
She said sorry, but it was 7:45.
That's pretty gnarly.
That's pretty spicy.
The breakfast baconator is up first. This bun looks pretty
Looks
nice.
good, it's shiny, it's soft.
This is the closest to a fresher bite that I've had. It's definitely one of the better items we've had.
I was a pretty big fan of that. I think what lets it down for me is the sausage. What Wendy's does really well is their meat and their burgers. Bun was good, the bacon was good. I think the sausage was a bit meh.
Is it still fresh, never frozen? Because that did not taste fresh. But not bad. The honey butter biscuit, chicken, whatever the this is, chicken biscuit. Before I even bite this is more bread than it is biscuit or scone. So anyway.
I don't think I've ever had fried chicken for breakfast before. I think Josh nailed it. The biscuit's not a biscuit or a scone. It's like too doughy, processed meat thing. It's not like actual chicken breast, which I'm not a fan of, but the breading's kind of nice and it's still kind of crispy. Don't really like the sweetness, and it's almost lacking a little bit of seasoning.
There's a little bit of spiciness, but it needs like garlic, paprika, celery powder, oregano, like something in there to flavor the chicken. Salt levels are pretty low. It's also remarkably dry. So we have some sort of like a fried chicken croissant. My stomach hurts already. Cheers. Not any better than the last.
If anything, the chicken is drier, and I think I preferred that biscuit, whatever that thing was.
This croissant is just basically really dry brioche. This is the most muted breakfast sandwich I've had today. Not good. Overall breakfast experience for Wendy's, I'm gonna give it a 4. Same as McDonald's.
Feeling the same. It started high and ended pretty low, 4.5.
It can only go up from here.
Wendy's 4 for 4? Thought they were advertising a combo, but instead they were just letting us know that it's mid.
I'm finding out that Andy has never been to Whataburger. How can you do that?
I listen to you too much. Every time I come to Texas, I just avoid it like the plague.
Can I get 2 honey butter chicken biscuits, 2 breakfast burgers, and 2 taquitos? Thank you very much.
5 minutes, 36 seconds.
The breakfast taquito, this looks more like a thick breakfast taco, but whatever. Oh, there's a hash brown in it.
It doesn't taste like much at all. Potato's kind of nice, but the egg's got no flavor. Not a huge fan of the tortilla, kind of pretty bland. Not much salt going on.
Without the hash brown, this would be one of the worst rated items that I've had today.
The outside of the bun, I've never seen something more dull in my life.
Cheers. This isn't that bad. Out of all the Whataburger things I've had, that said, all I taste in this is hash brown, which I like. They're going, well, our burgers aren't quite that good. Our bacon's not quite that good. So we're gonna make these hash browns really stand out.
The only thing you taste is potato.
We're on to their most famous menu item. This is probably the menu item that every single person that has even moderately liked it adores. The honey butter chicken biscuit. If Gordon Ramsay was here to see this, the first thing you say is, oh my Lord, it's my grandmother's toe. I've had this before. I did a butt better on this. We made it remarkably better. If you move this to one side, this is what you're left with. Cheers.
I live in Queensland, Australia. It's hot like it is here in Texas, and that is drier than the beach I go to. That's nasty. The chicken's dry, the biscuit's not good, the sauce is just whack.
The honey butter chicken sandwich has always been this underwhelming lack of crispy, lack of flavor, lack of seasoning. Out of everything we had today, to me, this was the least exciting. I'm giving it a 3 out of 10.
The first 2 items were just underwhelming. They weren't that bad. This was just straight up bad. 3.5.
Come on, Texas. What do we stand for? We stand for quality. We stand for big flavor. We stand for big meat. Everything should be big in your face. And you gave me a little chicken tender with no flavor. That's not Texas. Moving on.
Whataburger continuously disappoints. It's starting to feel like a White Castle right now, not happy. But we will find the best fast food breakfast. Now over to our LA correspondent, Christian, who takes on Del Taco.
Hi there, what are your top 3 breakfast items?
Burrito, toasted wrap, taco, egg and cheese, and bacon and asada.
That sounds like top 7. I'll take the top 3, the burrito, double cheese breakfast tacos, and then the breakfast toasted wrap. Thank you. Look at that. We're gonna start off with this taco. That tortilla is real tough. That hotel egg taste. They have like a little queso in there, it's pretty good. With a little bit of peppers, okay. I never understand why people don't just wrap it all the way. Cheese isn't that melty. The steak tastes like shredded beef. Same eggs. Tortilla needs to be toasted. I feel like it needs sauce, like a salsa of some sort. Ooh, this one looks promising. Oh, wow. The hash browns are saving this one. This is good. Tortilla, warm, crisp. Hash browns, crispy. Pico de gallo, meh. Fluffy hotel eggs. Melted cheese. Okay. As you can see, this is the only one that's toasted. This one, savior. I kind of wish the cheese sauce that was in the taco was in all 3 of these. Overall, this is like a 6.2. Del Taco breakfast.
Shockingly high score for, well, the visuals that I saw earlier. But hey, I trust his chef palate.
I'm really excited to see how Bojangles goes because so far Bojangles has actually been remarkably good each time we've gone there. What are like your top 3 breakfast items?
Chicken biscuit, gravy biscuit, and the bacon, egg and cheese.
I'll do 2 of each of those then. Thank you very much.
So that was 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Pretty good.
That's fast. Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. Yeah, good color, buttery. Cheers. Above mid, but not remarkable. Not much else to say about that. I mean, it's bacon, egg, and cheese. By just giving me a styrofoam container full of gravy and 1 single biscuit, what Bojangles is saying is our biscuits are really good. That is really awful.
It's about as interesting as a white t-shirt. There's just nothing to it. It tastes like you're eating unseasoned white sauce. That is as bland as English food in the 90s.
Whoa, that's pretty mean. I'm actually a big fan of Bojangles chicken sandwich. I'm really hoping that their chicken biscuit will redeem this, but what I will say is their biscuits, underseasoned, literally no flavor. It's just like a starchy dough ball. If you think that tastes good, you're probably in prison. One of my favorite pieces of chicken, please, Bojangles, don't let me down. By far, the chicken biscuit was the best part of the meal. Problem is, the biscuit itself sucks. Just the chicken was good. So for breakfast, honestly, I think this gets a 2. It's not that Bojangles is bad, because I actually like Bojangles chicken. What I'm saying is I will never come back here for breakfast.
The biscuits were trash. The chicken was good. For that reason, I'm giving it a 3.
Yeah, I'd be willing to go up to a 3 for the sake of the chicken. We'll call it a 3. Moving on.
Disappointing for one of our usual top spots with Bojangles at the worst score of the day. Moving on.
We're at Dunkin' Donuts.
Can I get 2 bacon, egg, and cheese, 2 Dunkin' wraps, 2 of the sausage, egg, and cheese croissant?
Isn't Dunkin' like a thing here?
It is, yeah. Donuts are good, but I don't think there's ever been a time where I've eaten a donut and been glad that I did. Thank you.
4 minutes, 27.
This is the first place that has an actual croissant, or the closest to a croissant. They gave you a sausage one and they gave me a bacon
Oh,
one.
wow.
Wow, it tastes of nothing.
Unoffensive though.
This literally tastes like nothing. Do you taste sausage on yours? Maybe
Yeah.
the sausage is better.
You can taste sausage and it's like seasoned a little bit. The croissant is the best croissant we've had. It's not a good croissant, but it's definitely the best we've had.
So I'm just now realizing that they gave us a bacon, egg, and cheese and a sausage, egg, and cheese, which I guess that counted as 2 of the items. He's now gonna try the bacon, I'm gonna try the sausage. Here we go. Oh, this is notably better.
This is flavorless.
So you might as well just order the sausage patty and just eat that. This is the breakfast taco. I don't want to talk about this. It's bacon, egg, and cheese. Let's just make this quick. We got a f***ing crowd forming around us.
The one thing we've had today with the least amount of flavor.
So unfortunately, the workers are watching us right now, and I'm gonna have to give this a 2. I apologize.
2.
Can I get a picture with you?
Yeah, of course. We're doing a whole ranking thing. I can't say that Dunkin' ranked the highest.
The food was probably terrible.
Nah, you're good, you're good.
Wow, Duncan, that didn't take long as they dunk into the bottom of the leaderboard.
We're at Taco Bell. Hi, I haven't had breakfast from here before. What are y'all's top 3 items?
I only have 4, so your choices are limited.
Oh, okay.
AM crunch wrap, quesadilla, then the cheesy burrito.
Well, that makes my job easy. This place is run well. She was like, bang, bang, bang. You good? Yeah,
Give me your money and get out.
thank
That
you.
cockroach.
That is very concerning. Thank you.
2 minutes 22. That's pretty good.
I'm gonna hold the bag shut just in case something crawls out. But be honest though, out of all the restaurants you worked at, have you ever caught a roach?
Every single one.
Exactly.
And I've worked in very fancy restaurants all around the world. They all have bugs and rats. Tell me a New York restaurant that doesn't have a rat problem, and I'll give you $1 million.
The cheesy burrito thing, breakfast, Taco Bell, yes.
Pretty underwhelming. The only redeeming feature, it's toasted nicely.
All you really taste is the breakfast sausage. This would be substantially better if the cheese simply tasted of something. Mid, it's okay. Breakfast crunch wrap.
Whoa. It's not crunchy enough, but whatever sauce they've put in there, nice bit of tang, a little bit of spice, not bad.
This might be the first crunch wrap I like. I have crunch on mine, and it's making all the difference. I love the texture. The bacon's chewy. The hash browns are surprisingly crunchy. That's nice. The breakfast quesadilla. This is my favorite. This honestly is almost like a breakfast taco you would get in Austin. Egg, bacon, and cheese. And if you want a salsa, you dip it in the salsa. Beauty and simplicity. It doesn't have to be f***ing crazy.
My favorite was the crunch wrap, but overall, I'm really impressed.
I've eaten almost every breakfast taco that there is in Austin. To me, this doesn't compare any lower than a lot of the places that I've eaten at. I'm surprised that Taco Bell is able to maintain that level of quality. Taco Bell gets so much hate, and this kind of redeemed the restaurant for me. I'm gonna have to give this a 7.
I'm with you, Josh. 7 for me as well. I ate that whole thing, so that says enough.
I am shocked. Taco Bell coming in with a 7. Given that there's been a few low ratings, I'm not sure that there's anything that's gonna top that. I don't know that I want Taco Bell to win, but we're gonna try to keep this fair, so let's move on. Subway, how the f do I look at this? Where's y'all's breakfast menu? Do y'all still serve breakfast?
Yes, the bottom.
Oh, amazing, yes, I see it. 2 bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches, 2 steak, egg, and cheese sandwiches, 2 ham, egg, and cheese sandwiches. Thank you very much, appreciate it, sir.
6 minutes, 45 seconds.
Not bad. I watched them hand assemble, fresh make all this. They're not the fastest, but you know, they had good service. The Philly, well, I don't even know what this is. Steak, egg, and cheese. Whoa, feel these eggs.
Whoa.
That feels like leather.
It literally feels like a weird toy. This doesn't taste like anything.
All I taste is cheese. I don't have anything to say about it. Just look at it. Can we get a rewind? Look at that. How do you think that was?
Overwhelmingly unimpressed. I love steak, and that was an extremely bad representation of the word. It felt like chuck steak that had been sous vide for 50 years, had very little flavor and almost no texture.
Bacon, egg, and cheese flatbread. Here we go. Slightly better because of the bacon. But let's be honest, bacon makes literally anything taste better, and this is a perfect example of that. The flatbread is not very good. It's just a very lackluster breakfast sandwich eating experience.
It's just super vanilla, not much going on. The bread's kind of floury, which I find a little bit offensive, and the bacon adds a bit more flavor than the steak.
All these are pretty much the same. Egg, cheese, and some other meat. Either this is gonna be the redeeming one, or it's just an example that all of these suck. The toppings are the only influence of flavor and implication of anything meaningful. It is the latter. This one is definitely by far the best, only because of the ham. You're better off just ordering their deli meat, bacon, or shitty steak and eating that on its own, because everything else on this doesn't matter. Very below average.
That's a 2 for me.
So let's ask the question, should Subway even have a breakfast menu? Because they put that little menu all the way at the bottom like fine print. Maybe it's because nobody f***ing wants it. Subway, stick to what you're good at. The breakfast is not necessary. I'm gonna give this a 1. So that totals it out to 1.5. Subway is now the lowest rated, which honestly I'm not too surprised. Let's move on.
This is my first time in Sonic. Definitely do not have these in Australia or New Zealand. And this drive-through experience is wild. So you can't eat in there?
No, you can eat outside if you want, but the reality is this is just basically a giant ghost kitchen. Kind of genius.
Yeah. And look how well the ghost kitchen industry's going.
So well that they're all closing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
8 minutes, 40 seconds.
You know what's funny? They're always slow. Almost always, when they are slow, there is nobody here. We have their French toast sticks in their thick, enriched syrup. I wanted to give Andy the classic American Sonic experience, which is in the car.
Again, what is with the syrup being split?
Oh yeah, you're right. I shook mine.
Somehow they've managed to undercook the bread in the middle, which doesn't even make sense.
And somehow they managed to make this syrup taste like diet syrup. It's almost like this muted sweetness, and then you get this incredibly artificial, plasticky tasting maple. Not good. Croissant sandwich. I have one positive thing to say. It seems to be real egg. It's not bad. Unfortunately, the rest of it is bad.
The egg was alright, bacon was actually alright too, but just the look of it just wasn't appealing.
It's a croissant that someone sat on. I literally think she was like, oh, yeah, you want your sandwich? How much do you want to bet this looks the same? It looks the same. I just sat on this.
It's the first vegetables we've had today. Jalapenos, gems.
Translation, gems or tater tots. He has all these fucking fancy terminologies he likes to use. Scones, gems. It's a fucking tater tot. Out of everything, it's the best one. I think the tater tot's elevated. I like it. If it was a late night, probably be like, this is fine.
Pretty unoffensive, right?
So we have 2 bottom dwellers and a mid. I think that puts it right at a solid 3.5 for me.
I'm gonna give it a 4, only because we finally had some vegetables.
You know, we're in the car. I kind of wish we were on our toilet instead. Moving on.
Sonic coming in towards the bottom of the leaderboard. Not a huge surprise here, but Taco Bell still holds the top spot. We only have a few places left to find our best fast food breakfast.
I'm excited for Carl's Jr.
Oh, really?
No.
What are y'all's top 3 breakfast items? Gotcha, okay. I'll take 2 grilled cheese breakfast sandwiches, 2 breakfast burgers, 2 French toast dips. I think I'm starting to learn something. They almost are sort of taught to follow a script in a way, and the second that you ask them a question like, what are your top 3 blah, 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 where they have to think, immediately they're like, holy Nobody trained me on this one. Thank
See
you,
you
you too.
later. 7 minutes on the dot.
I'm shocked. We have the French toast sticks and they're dusted with powdered sugar. Not only that, but their syrup is not just syrup, it's table syrup.
Why is it called table syrup?
It's like syrup that they leave on the table.
That's a dumb name.
Syrup still sucks,
But it's the best syrup we've had.
it's also the best French toast stick we've had. Honestly, the stick by itself is quite good. Super crisp. The inside's cooked through. It's not raw. The sweetness is nice. The oil's not bad. This is very reminiscent of a funnel cake. It definitely does not taste like something you should have for breakfast. Andy's going in for another one.
I'm enjoying these.
Breakfast sandwich, bacon, egg, and cheese. Underwhelming.
Unoffensive. Maybe because we've had so many croissants and biscuits, I'm finding the bread a pleasant change, but it's pretty soft. Even though it's like toasted nicely and griddled on one side, still like flaccid as anything in the middle.
There's a chef that I worked for, and I used to toast all the bread. And he taught me that if you're gonna toast bread, there's a perfect amount of time and temperature. And it's better to go a little lower and slower when toasting bread, so you don't get a shallow toast, you get a little bit of depth in your toast, and that's what creates the crunch. This is the exact opposite. This happens.
I think that's the first tomato relish we've had.
Sorry, what? You gotta be f***ing with me. Tomato relish? All right, chat. Tomato relish or ketchup? I don't know if this is a Kiwi thing or an Australian thing. No, gotta stop that. All I taste is tomato relish.
Yeah, it's kind of like dry.
You got fried tater tots, fatty beef, griddled eggs, fatty bacon. How do you manage to get that to a level where it's not moist?
Pretty unoffensive, apart from that dryness. That tomato relish is really carrying the weight.
The majority of what I taste is ketchup. I'm not getting much flavor. It's kind of under-seasoned, but it's unoffensive. It's mid. French toast sticks, big win. Breakfast sandwich, mid. Burger, mid. I think it deserves a mid rating, maybe slightly above mid at a 5.5.
I was thinking 6, because those French sticks, I ate half the portion.
You know what? That's a very fair assessment. I'll raise mine up to a 6. Not bad. They constantly surprise us. I don't know why I constantly on them, but I cannot help it. I hate the stupid fucking smiling star. And is it Hardee's? Is it Carl's Jr.? I don't know.
Turns out there isn't usually a difference between the menus except for breakfast. So with no Hardee's near us, we enlisted someone I hold very near and dear to my heart, our friend Christopher, Mr. Beef himself. This man knows good food.
What are your 3 most popular breakfast items?
Biscuit and gravy, the Frisco breakfast sandwich, the loaded omelet biscuit.
Thank you. Those sandwiches came out incredibly fast. Did you time that?
Got it on hay.
You guys have us regulars wondering what the heck you're doing. There's nothing here that's all that exciting. Well, I eat here every day.
Okay, see, and I know a lot of guys like you that love Hardee's, that live and die by Hardee's. They love this place. I unfortunately don't like anything that has Frisco melt in it. Unfortunately, that was one of their top selling sandwiches. So this is gonna be a mother for me to try to eat. I still wouldn't eat this sandwich, but this wasn't that bad. This was actually quite good. I thought it was gonna be goopy and slimy and kind of gross, but it actually wasn't. Visually, I don't like it. Taste-wise, it actually tasted really good, man. The meat tastes outstanding. The egg tastes fresh. The cheese tastes fresh. It's actually quite tasty. I just don't like these style of sandwiches. Omelet biscuit, another thing I don't like you omelets. So I'm really striking out here when it comes to the items. It's actually quite good. The biscuit's outstanding. The egg's actually really tasty, man, and I hate egg on breakfast sandwiches. I don't know why. I know it's essential. The cheese tastes good. I thought this was gonna be a nightmare. It actually tastes really good, man. Biscuits and gravy. I definitely wouldn't order biscuits and gravy from a fast food joint. This is actually quite tasty, man. The gravy's really tasty, real flavorful. It's not bland. It's got a nice pepper flavor to it. And I'm actually really enjoying this. Sorry, I'm like at a loss for words right now. Those 3 items I would have never picked, but they were all outstanding. I have to give it an 8, man. Hardee's all day.
And wow, we have a new leader. Thank you, Chris. I'm gonna give you a big kiss the next time I see you. But is Hardee's really gonna take the top spot? Anything could happen at this point because our last place is Chick-fil-A. I've never been a fan of Chick-fil-A, but let's give our final place in contender a try to being crowned our king.
Hi, can I get 2 spicy biscuits, 2 bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits, 2 sausage, egg, and cheese muffins? Wow, they got double sliding doors at the drive-thru. Do you see this? Who the is ordering a milkshake right now? Oh, thank you so much. This is the sausage, egg, and cheese muffins. I think this is one of their only non-chicken items. The English muffin is kind of nice.
It looks good.
Cheers. That's the best egg I've had so far.
It's pleasant. Muffin's good. Sausage is nicely seasoned. The egg's good. Are we about to convince Josh that Chick-fil-A is not that bad after all?
I like this breakfast sandwich. But what's different about this breakfast sandwich? Oh, Chick-fil-A didn't use their signature fucking bull chicken. No wonder that this is good. One of the best fast food breakfast sandwiches I think I have ever had. The sausage is tender, it's juicy, it's fatty, you can see the whole muscle meat. Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, cheers. The biscuit is actually surprisingly good, but it is a little greasy. The egg is moist, the cheese is there, bacon's actually cooked really nicely. It's not bad, man. It's not as good as the sausage one though.
Definitely the best biscuit we've had today. It is greasy, but greasy in a good way. Buttery greasy. Egg's good, bacon's good. That's not a bad sandwich.
Pleasant. We've made it to the coveted spicy chicken biscuit. Cheers.
Josh hates on Chick-fil-A, and this biscuit might prove him wrong. That chicken's pretty good. It's seasoned nicely, really good biscuit.
They never bread it this good. Now, of course, the second Andy's here, they're gonna be like, oh, let's bread this real nice. You. It's good, man. The chicken could be crispier though. The flavor on this is nice. It tastes great. It's spicy, salted very well, but the chicken's just not crispy at all. What the is the point of fried chicken if you don't make it crispy? With almost great remorse, I'm gonna give this a strong, surprising, shocking, I have to do it, 8 out of 10. I don't know how many fast food restaurants in the world will ever get an 8 out of 10 from me. Andy, I'm gonna leave it to you. Finalize that.
That really went above my expectations on anything we were gonna eat this morning. I was honestly really impressed. That's an 8.5. Coming from the land of breakfast, Australia, that's a good breakfast.
I never thought I'd see the day, but there it is. Chick-fil-A is our winner. Maybe Chick-fil-A is better than I thought it was. Remember, leave room for second chances.
Subscribe. I'll see you next time.